All right. This is a little weird, but different is good. Different can be good. New things can be good. Welcome to the channel, you guys. My name is Daft Owl, and today, instead of playing a game, I'm going to be talking about a game that I just finished streaming. I just finished my playthrough of it on this channel, or I guess channels, whatever you want to call it. I finished playing Xenogears on stream, and because of the nature of that game, hold on. Because of the nature of that game and how dense the content of it is, both story-wise, gameplay-wise, just every sort of aspect you can think of, it's dense. It's not really possible to talk about it briefly, and I did want to talk about it before starting Xenosaga, which is the next one on this sort of like series of games. Welcome to the stream. Yes, yeah, no worries. I'm like everything's just starting. No worries. I felt like I needed to sort of get my thoughts out in a form that in which I have time to speak, because last time I kind of just had the rest of the time I have usually scheduled for stream, so like maybe like 5-10 minutes to quickly process everything that I just experienced and then also like wrap up stream. Hold on, let me do this. I want to switch to Xenoblade music. Okay. I had to like wrap everything up and then, tie it up in a nice little bow, but it's like, it doesn't work like that with that type of game. But that's, as ambitious as Xenogears is. So in my moment of hyperfixation, I put together a little Google slide, Google presentation. There is a side area in Kislev where you can play the old gear battling minigame again. Oh, that's good. That's fun. Okay, that's good to know. I did like that. I did like that minigame. It was a nice little change of pace from the normal turn-based battling. It supports 2 players? No way. With how compressed the time they had for development, they had enough time to support 2 players in that side. That's insane. That I have like a thought. I have a train of thought, right? That like there's so much I want to say, and I feel like I can get my thoughts out if I like follow this train of thought. And also I know that like there's a lot of different ideas about the themes and the super important points of the game out there, and like if people share, I definitely like I really want to just like be able to talk about it with people, you know what I mean? So did I check out Perfect Works? Not yet, but that is on my to-do list. I don't know if I'll have time before I start Saga, but I'll definitely check it out, because Perfect Works is like, it's text, right? It's like a novel, or it's like documentation about different events that happen before or after. And we're just sitting there and letting the song Ship of Regret and Sleep play on loop, just absorbing everything that just happened. Yeah. Oh, it's an art book. Okay. Actually, okay. I think I'm a little familiar only by what I like to do after I experience or watch something or listen to something or whatever that hits that hard. I look up so much about it. I look up video essays. I look up like discourse about it. And a lot of the video essays that I saw sort of pulled graphics, and I'm pretty sure they might have pulled them from Perfect Works. if so, that makes a lot of sense if it's an art book. But yeah, I wanted to speak what I have. I wanted to just like, I don't know, discuss / also just share my thoughts before starting Xenosaga, because I know that's gonna be its own like epic of it's 3 games. Like I want to put a check mark here and be like, this is what I'm thinking about the series. This is what I'm thinking about the franchise as a whole now, before I move on and get more context, get more information, experience more that Takahashi and his crazy team put together. So that's what I'm doing. Let me see. Like I said, I put together this little thing yesterday, and I don't know, it might help with putting my thoughts into more of a cohesive format. But yeah, today I'm gonna be yapping about Xenogears. I think a lot of people have already done video essays about this game, and they've covered a lot, especially from what I've seen. Like, people are very thorough, hours and hours and hours of video essays and just like discourse about the game already exists. So I pretty much want to keep the scope, but I haven't think about Xenogears like twice a day since. There's tons to absorb. Yes, that's the thing. It's dense. It's dense, but it's not dense with content that doesn't matter. Like, it feels like if you were to look into something, chances are it's related to a main theme, or it plays into how a main theme is illustrated or like conveyed to the audience. Like, things matter in Xenogears, or just Xeno in general. But yeah, I'm gonna be talking about Xenogears. Let's see. First, I can't start without talking about the main cast. I thought I liked the main cast of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 a lot, but like, this cast is very, very strong. Like, from left to right: Billy, Rico, Emeralda, Citan, Ellie, Faye, Bart, Margie, Choo Choo, and Maria. Like, they're, when I found this picture, right, and I'm like, we really had a moment in the story of this game dedicated to each of them being introduced in a unique way, being explored, like their backstory being explored, their character in general, backstory up until current state of being, and also they explored unique conflicts that they all faced and overcame. And by overcoming those conflicts, they all grew as characters. You know what I mean? Like, with Billy and the ethos, Rico and like his demi-human upbringing. Emeralda was more late game in the sense that like she kind of understood her past and what her role is. Citan, I feel like he's, again, him and Emeralda are more like unique, and where like Citan, it's for us to sort of see how his role is like recontextualized, as he's not just like the doc that's had your back since you arrived at Lahan. Like, he's been like making sure that things are okay with you. Like, he's been watching and like keeping tabs on you, and for a brief moment you think he's a spy, like you think he's a traitor, but very quickly they shut that down. And he's like really like I don't know, he's a very strong backbone to the team. And you have Ellie. I mean, Ellie, we all know, like Ellie and Faye, it's their story. Like it's their story across generations. And then you have Bart, and like Bart very early on, and like even further, oh my gosh, they don't just like throw him away either. You'd be like, but today I'm here. Welcome, Reggie. Yes, you're here, you're here. I'm actually just started, so it's okay. We're on Bart now, and like anyone who was here early, like when I was playing the game, knows that like Bart, Bart's a no nonsense type of guy. It's a core element of the game's experience, right? Yeah, the Faye Ellie relationship over time is the axle the story turns on. Exactly. Like with Bart, one thing that I appreciated is that like you kind of learn more about him like over the course of the game, because you learn about like his royal status, I guess, earlier on, but him and Sigurd, right? Like their relationship, they're being related, and just like him returning to, oh my gosh, Nissan, trying to get into a republic, like he's just, they keep the characters integral to the story. Like they keep them relevant. If they're introduced and they're in the party, they stay like with everything, and like just like I guess him and Margie in general, like Margie less so because I guess she wasn't like playable, but in the sense that like she kind of knew Bart more than everyone else, and like she could give the party a perspective about Bart that like they just don't know because they don't know him as well yet. Choo Choo, we love Choo Choo. Choo Choo, I guess that's great that they're paired together, since Choo Choo sort of hulked out and saved us, like kind of helped us out with fighting Maria's dad. There's some consideration for her being playable. You can kind of tell in the first fight with Ramses. Yeah, you're right. Because she did, because we like, what was it? Like we were escorting her right out of the castle. We're trying to sneak her out. Some of the details are a little foggy, but I can see that. I think I was prepared for her to be playable, but I wasn't like, oh, she's gonna be playable. You know what I mean? Just because of how she was introduced, and like she's another character that like has an actual design. Like she's not like just an NPC. You know what I mean? I don't know, but yeah, Maria, dude, Maria's story, that one hit me hard, because it's like, the perseverance of Maria, like keeping the hope that like, oh no, my dad's alive, I'm gonna go get him, I'm gonna save him, and then like encountering him, finding out the truth about what is actually going on with him, but like he still is in the gear, and like the way they speak, it's that type. I don't know, it's not a little arc, but it's an arc in the story that's, it's like kind of full circle in and of itself, but I felt it like from start to finish, of going to Shavat and then like, I don't know, just going through her storyline. All in all, good cast of main characters. But if you know me, a good cast of main characters is great, but it's not everything. You have to have good villains. With the villains in this game, while they have a common enemy, I guess to say, because they're fighting the main cast, Oh, as another note, there exists a fan project to flesh out Disc 2. I'm a member of that team. Whoa. Flesh out? I am curious about that. Um, if it's open to share, then yeah, like if you want to share that on the Discord, please do, because that's insane. Add playable dungeons and dialogue. Yeah, exactly, because of how much of the dungeons were cut out of the second disc. That's perfect for sort of a way to flesh out Disc 2. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, villains. They kind of share the target. They share the target of the main characters, but they all have a different agenda, right? Like Graf is seeking power to turn the world into nothing. Like he wants to destroy everything. You have Id, who I guess Graf is one of your favorites. I guess Id, in another way, also wants to wreak havoc because of his view of the world. Like they have different catalysts for the motive and for their actions. And it's not like you can't just clump them all as, oh, these are the villains. Like they are against us. You know what I mean? Like they all have interesting, compelling motives. Like they're not just evil, the ultimate nihilist. Exactly. Like Graf grew on me because initially I was like, okay, so he's just gonna be the guy that comes in and powers up the boss that I have to fight, and then I have to fight that boss. You know what I mean? But just over time, and the way they illustrate it too is like, that's with him so much. Yeah, he's very closely tied with Ramses. Yeah. The way that they sort of feed you information about these characters over time is so smart as well, because it's not like they just dump the lore on you. Of course, in the very first cutscene, they have to do that wall of text to world building, but like you see Graf from the start of the game, and you see Faye react to Graf from the start of the game. Like the fact that they're connected is introduced to you so early, so you have that in the back of your mind while you're playing. And then just more and more information about like the fact that there's a whole history that we have yet to learn about, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, with like Lacan and Sophia. And then sort of the main reveal of them showing how Graf and Lacan are one and the same are like, I think that's the moment for me in which I was like, I like this guy. Faye, Id, Graf connection is so in your face from the start. Exactly. It's so in your face in the way that like if you were to watch it again, like I just watched someone playing the game again for the first time. Or sorry, that makes no sense. I watched someone play the game for the first time, like they uploaded a Let's Play or something. And they're right there. They're from the start. He's in your face. It is there. A friend of mine will always bring up when Id stepped in to protect Esmeralda, a character up to now that only cared about destruction, had a protective side. Exactly. Like, it's all I'm gonna say it's all connected so often. Like I need to, I don't know, take a shot every time I do that. But yes, this connection is insane to me and extremely compelling. But I don't want to sit here too long because I do have other. These villains, you can say that they're like, Miang is a villain in the sense that she is her motive or her objective is directly against what the protagonists are doing. When Graf shielded Ellie from the bomb in Kislev. Yes. Because Graf, technically Lacan, and it's it's so connected. It's so connected. It's crazy. Like, I think the only person here that isn't motivated by like loss. I'm sorry for Mr. Saturday's stream. No, you're good. You're fine. You're fine. Welcome to the stream in general. Weaponized farting. I'm yapping right now. I'm just going off on this game because I just recently beat it and I need to share my thoughts on it before I move on to the game that is next in this like series of games. So sit back. I don't know. Use me as white noise. Do whatever. But yeah, the only person not directly, I guess, motivated by I just lost something completely dear to me is Miang. Because all three of them, like Sophia, he loses Sophia. He loses his childhood almost. Like Id is a result of Faye's shoving trauma out of his own personality into Id, like constructing Id and shoving it all to Id. So he loses any sense of comfort, like for how old Faye is. Like I don't remember exactly. I think it was like, I don't know, but he's very much just experiencing suffering. It was technically shattered too when the ship exploded. You know what? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there's a great meme that goes, Graph gatekeeps Curly and gaslights and me and girl bosses. That is exactly what they do. That is exactly what they do, because Graph gatekeeps the power, Krellian gaslights the Gazelle Ministry, and Miang girl bosses humanity into reviving days. That's insane. No, but yeah, like, and Krellian, I guess Krellian and Graph lose the same person, but they go about their reactions to it entirely differently. Whereas Graph wants to just destroy the world, I think Krellian wants to escape the world be damned. Like, he doesn't want to, like, perpetuate this world any further. Like, he's like, this world is not, like, there's nothing for me here. Like, I'm gonna leave. Krellian gaslights everyone. He really does. He really does. Look at him. I still, of all of them, Krellian is my, like, I don't like him, but I think, you know, it's on purpose. Like, they don't want you to like him. Of course not. Like, I think they maybe tried to give him another side of, like, you know, maybe he's, you know, he had a motive, but, like, not in my opinion. Ramses Hammer, the mystery hell. Yes. He there's a lot of victims to his gaslighting. And last but certainly not least is Ramses. Because Ramses' story from start to finish, you know that something is going on between Ramses and, like, everybody within Solaris, within, like, his own faction. Like, they know something that he doesn't, and it's just, he's so tragic. Like, his character is so tragic, and I'm trying to think of what point it was that I really started to just, like, I need to root for this guy. It was, I don't know. It's one of the times when he loses against Faye. I'm just like, I remember saying on stream, like, he needs one win at least. And of course, the one win that he has after that is the one that, like, devastates the team. I think it's the one that, like, transitions from disc 1 to disc 2, in that Faye and Ellie get bodied. Yeah, Ramses dealing with PTSD, dealing with, I mean, that's in and of itself it's so severe PTSD as well, because it's not just the experiments conducted on him, or like, not okay, it's not just what was spoken into him from birth, from his test tube development. It's also like the consistent losing against Faye / Id, and his desire to prove that he's worthy of living, like he has a purpose, you know. Ramses deserves his own video in general. Like, honestly. But yeah, these are characters that, like, if I'm thinking about like favorite characters from Xenogears, these kind of flash in my mind. So moving forward, I think this is my point. Like, this is what I really wanted to like favorite about the story. Sorry, playing in the next yapping stream. No. Okay, my favorite parts of the story is a fan comic about Ramses' lore. I need to experience and like search up all this fan content, because you sure as hell aren't gonna get a remake anytime soon. Okay, Faye and his DID is one of my favorite like core elements of the story, because like I was saying, I think I kind of talked about this earlier in general. It's present from start to finish, right? And they just keep providing you with more bits and pieces of context so that you understand Faye, you understand Id, you understand their relationship, and you understand how other people sort of, I guess, encounter Id as well. Like the whole reveal with Satan and how he's really just been keeping an eye on Faye, keeping an eye on Id. The biggest reveal being like the fact that they're the same person. Like that reveal where he transforms on the spot is one of my favorite moments in the game, because it's like, it's such a, like, the curtain is pulled back. There is no more switching behind the scenes. There is no sort of like, what's the word? There's no speculation about it. It's like, no, they're the same person, or they inhabit the same body, but they are vastly different people in terms of what their goals are, what they want to do, you know. And like FMV, Revelto turns red and flies off. Yes. Like he flies off and he just like boom on the bridge. It's like he's it's the power that like people are afraid of. Like, you know, if it was on our side, it'd be great, but like it's scary power. It's not power that people are comfortable with being around, you know. I mean, just look at him. He's disheveled. He's not here. He's not like, you know, it's the power grab. Can't shut up about it. Yeah. But yeah. And I think, are you strong? He just appears and he needs it. He needs Faye to just like unleash the power. And oh, you don't really know why until later. Goku's bad ending, to be honest. You don't really know why he needs Faye to unleash that power until the end, when you see like, oh, Graph doesn't have a body anymore. He's inhabiting bodies that are compatible with him, and it just so happens that Faye is a reincarnation of his original body. Like they're the same. It's so layered. It's so layered. But like, I think, okay, I don't know. I'm gonna get on this. I don't know if this is gonna make any sense, but like this second thing here, I think id is what happens when the hedgehog dilemma that they're talking about, that like I'm sure people know, but like the hedgehog dilemma is like you don't want to allow people in out of fear of them hurting you, so you sort of like a hedgehog have your spikes out so people can't approach you. I think the personalities within Faye exhibit the hedgehog's dilemma. Like there's already people that exhibit that dilemma in the story, but like Faye has that internally where the spiked wall approach, right? He has that internally where, you know, he's getting experimented on. It's too much. He detaches and creates id and shoves everything onto id, but keeps all of the pleasant memories with the coward personality. And the two they don't like interact. They don't share knowledge. They don't share information. They don't share memories with each other. The coward is afraid of what id is experiencing, and he doesn't want to reconcile that. Like he doesn't want to become connected with id. Like he formed that detachment for a reason. He's afraid of that connection, of what will happen when he comes to terms with all of the trauma, when he internal, like, you know, like specifically the trauma of killing his mom. Like he's saying it out loud too. It's like, damn, that really is the end of development for the coward. Like that's when he stops, you know. And you hear it in the conversation. Ooh, sorry. Oh, let me get more. I was gonna cough. I thought I was gonna cough. When Faye is talking to Krelian at the end, right? And he's talking about how Faye is talking about how he's proud to be a human. You can form connections with people. You can love other people. You can help other people. Like, I think that's partial. Like he has that insight now. He has that perspective now because he was able to reconcile with himself the two personalities. I only feel like that because they're so different. Like you spend the game thinking that they're different people when in reality they're inhabiting the same body. So I don't know. I just feel like the hedgehog dilemma happens inside Faye, between Faye and id, and then he reconciles that at the end of the game and tries to communicate that to Krelian, but Krelian is too far gone and he just goes off into the fourth dimension or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like that, if anything, that was one of the biggest, like, whoa. Like they illustrated that so well, and I'm taking that away from the game. Like I'm coming away from this game with that message, that really good message as well. Because it's like, you know, you can't be on this planet in solitude and like I don't know, something is missing. Something is missing when you don't form connections with people. When you don't reconcile within yourself as well, something's missing. Like if you compartmentalize emotions and experiences and you don't sort of view them as a whole and let them, you know, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. But that was insane. And then other stuff that I just really liked about the story is like the whole cycle of humanity sort of getting rebooted by Miang, because it didn't work. Let's start again. Like it 10,000 years, like they said, is such a large sum of time that like it didn't really hit until I went to that area under the lighthouse, and you know, you see like, oh, this was 4,000 years ago, right? They had developed what present day now looks like And it's like it just kept restarting. And you'll see, ooh, these things that I like. I'm not gonna spoil. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I like about that. The whole passing down of will, the passing down of memories between Faye and Elheim. It's just insane. And the way these characters use their power. Like Faye, early game, doesn't want anything to do with fighting. Like he destroyed his village, ultimately. Doesn't want anything to do with power. He hates himself for it. He falls into depression. And it's like, that's valid. You just killed everybody you care about. And you've only been there for like 3 years. They exiled you. Like, that's rough. You don't know anything before that. This is your whole world, technically. So he falls into that depression. And it's like, that's one way you can go. And I feel like if he kept going that way, I don't know, it might not be exactly like Graph, but like whereas Graph felt the need to use power to destroy everything around him, Faye was gonna probably use that power to destroy himself, like just take himself out of the equation, which is horrible. And then Krellian just using that power to be, it wasn't the same as destroying the world, but sort of just escaping the world be damned. And I don't know, I really like late game Faye. I like protagonists understanding that like you can use the scary power that you have for purposes to help others and your friends, and like it's not inherently bad or horrible to have that power. It's like you have to choose what to do with it. It's in your hands. But yeah, make sure everyone gets scared. No. Anyways, Xenogears DNA. This is my I'm gonna stand on this soapbox and go off about this because the Xenogears DNA is in all 3 installments of Xenoblade Chronicles. Spoilers for Xenoblade Chronicles. I've played all 3 and their DLC. And playing through Gears, there's so many whoa, this is where 1 got it from. This is where 2 got it from. This is where 3 got it from. They all stuck out in my head. I'm like, Takahashi has been cooking since 1998 and he's not done. Maybe he's done with Xeno blank, but I don't think he's done in general, cooking games, cooking stories like this. But yeah, the rest of this is pretty much me. He's not done, bro. He's not. The rest of this is just me sort of talking about how I feel like Gears influences everything after it. Hope he's never done. The Xeno games are so good. They're so good. So good. I wanted to hold my judgment about Gears until I finished it, because up until then I was enjoying it. I just wanted to make sure it ended strong, and it ended so strong. Such a strong full circle ending. But it ends in Gears, but I feel like it doesn't end until Future Redeemed. And you'll see what I mean. But this is 1. Xenoblade Chronicles 1, right? Shulk, Bionis, Mechonis, the works, right? There are some very similar things, at least at the surface level, that are shared between Gears and Chronicles 1. First, the fact that humans and machines get fused to form the faced Mechon. Bro, I was looking at characters from I was yesterday, right? I was putting this together. I was looking at characters from Xenoblade Chronicles 1, looking at the inciting incident, looking at all that stuff, and I'm like, Metal Face, what's his name? Mumcar is in Metal Face. Like they fused. Technically. You know what I mean? That's the same sort of thing that they explore in Gears, where like I mean, we see Hammer as a horrible, tragic outcome of that. But like, I don't know. I feel like there's pieces of that got put into one. Wait, let me see. I have no idea what Xenogears is about, but my friend really liked it and tried to talk to me about it. Like, please play it. Play Gears. This is a lot of spoilers. At least for Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't know. Yes, there's gonna be spoilers about Gears here, so I'm sorry in advance. But yeah, like the fusing of Homs and Mechon, humans and machine, just play Xeno in general. Yes, do that. The second thing, like the main characters housing a being of like supernatural power, you know, Faye being reincarnations of the Contact, and just like housing a being like id who has that much power and is utilizing the power, and then Shulk housing Zanza. You know, we don't even know. Now I'm in both chats. We don't even know the aspect of them putting such pertinent information at the very beginning of the game for you. Shulk is seeing visions. You don't know until later what those visions actually are, but it's Zanza. Zanza's been there from the beginning of the game in 1. And same thing with Faye, like Faye and id, and you know, it's the same, or at least extremely influenced by Gears. Similar inciting incident, like the destruction of the hometown. I guess that's kind of like a JRPG incident, right? Lahan getting devastated, Holy 9 getting devastated, both by mechs. They kind of just like push the main character on their adventure. But yeah, and also the hero's journey trope, right? Yes, that's what it is. The whole thing of Shulk, Zanza, Fiora, and Mayneth, it's not exactly the same, but sort of not the counter, but the complement of the main character, also housing like the other almighty being, yeah, for lack of a better word. Like, I don't know, I hope you see it as well. Like Shulk isn't so much a reincarnation, but he houses Zanza. Fiora houses Mayneth. Faye is the Contact. Ellie is a reincarnation of Elheim. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's so close. It cannot be a coincidence. It just can't. But yeah, surface level stuff, at least that. Thematic similarities, I think, okay, this is gonna be here throughout all 3 of the games, but like all 3 games really show that like there is strength in being human. In 1, the whole thing is about predestination. Late as usual, talked about combat yet. I have not talked about combat yet. In general, I kind of am gonna go along the topic of how the themes in Xenogears ripple through all 3 Xenoblade Chronicles. I did talk about like some of my favorite characters and say favorite like themes, but now at this part I want to go into like how it affects Xenoblade Chronicles 1, how it affects Chronicles 2 and 3. Humanity is just goated. Yes, quite literally, it feels like the common theme is like, it's okay to be human. It's okay. The indomitable human spirit. Yes, exactly that. Like in 1, the whole thing is, you know, Zanza is almighty and everything Shulk has been doing is kind of like predetermined. Even though he sees a vision, it's predetermined. I don't know. But like the way that I guess Gears relates to that is like, I feel like Krellian wants to escape the inevitable pain and suffering that people will experience, but like that doesn't he sort of describes humanity as flawed because we will inevitably experience that. And it's like, no, you will experience it, but you can influence that. Like you can change your future. You can change how your day plays out. You can change how your life plays out. You have agency as a human. And I don't know. It just, that stuck out to me. Like when he's talking to Faye at the end of the game, Krellian is just like, I'm done with humanity. I don't want to be here. And it's like, Faye really tries to convince him about the benefits. Like he's proud to be human at the end. He's proud of it. And, you can make the change you want to see without throwing away your humanity. So, yeah, I thought that was one of the ripples in Chronicles 1. After hearing you say that, ooh, we love a brain blast. What game? I might know. I don't know. I might not know. I might know. But yeah, that's how I felt it affected Chronicles 1. Nier Automata, I did play that. Interesting. I want to hear what you think. I'm gonna go forward, but yeah, that's Chronicles 1, right? Predestination and all that. Chronicles 2, bro. There is so much that comes into play with at least the surface level similarities in this game as well. There are so many similar character types. Bart, Zeke. Bart is the blueprint for Zeke. Krellian, Amalthus. Amalthus being sort of like he I guess I can't remember exactly. I think he's like the head of Indol. He's rejecting this world. There's just similarities between Krellian and Amalthus that like, if we were to put them side by side, it's like, it's not, it's you see it. The whole idea of 2B9S and A2 are human because they have the ability to break the loops. Ooh, yeah. Right. That is a good point. It's just, I don't know. There's some of these themes that get explored that like you just can't experience them and then not feel some type of way. Like Xenogears. Right. Jin, Lacan, and Graph. Jin's experience in the DLC of 2, the DLC of Chronicles 2 is a prequel to the events that happen in that game. And in the main game, Jin wants to destroy, like he's like Graph. He wants to destroy everything. He wants to destroy the society that is currently in place. Something that I would like to see is exploring humanity as an abstract set of values rather than strictly a physical body pain, sort of like that. That would be interesting to see. I wonder if there's anything like that right now. I don't know. Nothing comes to mind, but that would be interesting to like dive into. No, but yeah, like Jin suffers. His suffering is comparable to Graf and Lacan in that he loses someone who he treasures so deeply and no longer finds any value in the world. And so he wants to destroy it. I mean, down to like the character design as well. Like Jin wears a mask. Graf wears a mask. This might be a reach, but like Jin being a blade. Well, Jin doesn't. Never mind. Erase that. But yeah, their similarities are so strong. And the realization that Rex and Jin come to, and I guess they don't both come to the realization, but Rex helps Jin realize that, like, you know, for lack of a better word, things can turn out all right if you just push forward. You can make things better with your actions. It doesn't have to lead to destruction. It doesn't have to lead to the end. You can turn things better. Like you can improve things. I didn't even get to like the main thing, bro. Pyra Mithra, Faye Id. Mithra, if you don't know, Mithra is like Faye as a baby, right? Faye as a baby, he's kind of just existing, you know, whatever. Traumatic event happens. Faye forms Id. Id kind of fronts whenever there's trauma happening. Mithra commits like one of the, if not the most horrendous genocidal destruction of that world. And she can't, you know, that's so much for one person to like process. So she goes dormant, creates Pyra, and Pyra fronts. When I was looking, I was like, wow, that's right there. And again, it's not the same as Gears in that in Chronicles 2, the two of them kind of are more along the same objective, whereas Faye and Id are like just opposite. But like they come to reconcile with each other, and in doing so grant power that is just beyond anything that any enemy can face. Like when Pyra and Mithra form Numa and Rex is now the master driver, not like even mechanically in the game, you don't lose fights after that. You really don't. When Faye reconciles with Id and you get the Xenogears, you don't lose. You don't lose with the Xenogears. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just that reconciliation with yourself or with trauma and being able to say like, yes, that happened. Yeah, and I don't let that define me. I can change, I can move forward with it. You empower yourself with that. Self-acceptance and self-love. Yeah, exactly that. Literally that. I think I just talked about the next thing by accident, but it's just I'm telling you, I'm yapping. It's been on my mind since the very end cutscene of Xenogears. And another like thing of similarities, Indol is just the ethos. They control the distribution of cores being like the blades that you use in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And alongside that, just in doing that, they also just control wars. They control the flow in which the way the world works, right? It's insane. And you don't realize that until later. You hear about it, but you don't get the full picture until later. It's insane. Let me read what she said. Zero marathon lasting since July last year, and last night I just finished Future Redeem. Fantastic games. Only played Saga 1 and 2 back in the day, but episode 3 is a masterpiece. Hold on, I wanted to say like 7 things at the same time. The reason why I'm doing this stream so that I can spew out my brain rot about this game is because my friend was telling me, like, if I enjoyed Gears, when I get to Xenoblade Chronicles or Xenosaga 3, it's going to like blow my mind. And I have to put a check mark here. Like, I have to document how I feel about the stuff here before I start the next epic, because I don't want to lose this, right? But yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it. Xenogears has been your favorite RPG since back in '98, so I had to do them all. Yes, as you should, as you freaking should. Excited for me to play Xenosaga. We're starting Saturday. Get ready, get ready. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I haven't played Xenogears in 2 decades, but it's one of your favorite time games. Welcome to the stream, Loveless Gemini. I'm experiencing it. I just finished it Saturday, and I'm experiencing that. I've played Chronicles, all of that, DLC and everything. And right now, I don't know how long you've been here, but I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to just express how I feel about Gears, having played Chronicles, and how you just see it, the DNA of Gears in these other games. It's insane. But I kind of already talked about this. Rex, Rex is trying to express, like, he's trying to break through to these antagonists that, like, your past experiences are past experiences. They are not who you currently are. They can influence how you feel, they can influence how you act, but you still have the power to act. You still have the agency to act. And like, for Rex, he wants to help people. He is the most indomitable human spirit of the 3 protagonists, in my opinion. And anytime especially I see this, when I see that image, it makes me so hype. It makes me so happy, because he's self-accepted. He knows what he is. He knows his role. And because he's so sure of that, nothing can stop him. It's insane. The HD texture pack episode 3 looks like the PS3 games. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I'm going to try and play them in their highest quality. But yeah, like, I feel like he's talking to Malos, and Malos is just like, I'm destruction. I'm going to destroy everything. And, it's directly in contrast with Rex, who wants to stop him from destroying everything. He wants to bring smiles to his friends, bring smiles to the world. It's like, he's just trying to tell him, like, you're not destruction. Like, it's not the be all end all of who you are. You have the agency to do other things. And he just stops him. I don't know. It's just like, it's crazy. To tie it to Gears, like, again, it's Faye. It's multiple things. One of the things, Faye talking to Krellian of, like, you've experienced the trauma of losing Sophia. Yeah, I understand. And he definitely does understand, because Faye has the memories of Lacan at that time. So he's aware of Krellian on, like, a deeper level than just Faye talking to someone from the past. You even hear Krellian, he calls him Lacan in that cutscene at the end. Like, they know what each other has been through. But, like, he's telling him, like, you, as a human, you can form connections with other people. You can change who you are. You can grow from your past. You can make more decisions. Like, it doesn't have to end. You don't have to leave. You don't have to separate yourself, because that's just worse. But yeah, like your past is not your definition. I feel like definitely hits when it comes to Gears and 2. Oh, I didn't say this specifically, but this connection, this like reference, or I guess I don't know what you would call it, similarity, the way that you go to the lighthouse and you see the Zeboim era, and then you go in Chronicles 2 to the land of Mortha and you see the state of the world after the experiment, after Klaus's experiment. It's like, whoa. I don't know. It feels like a direct thing because they're both barren wastelands of old human civilization. It's undoubtedly human. Like you see in Chronicles 2, like someone has a name tag. Like it's one of the best parts. It's like, it's connected. Inactivity. Am I okay on live? Whoa. Why did it try to kick me out of my live? I'm talking. Sorry, hold on. My freaking TikTok live almost kicked me off the stream because apparently it didn't detect action. I'm talking my heart out right now. It's like, we don't really see what's going on. We're gonna end the stream. Like, what? Vacation. Yeah, I did. Okay, we're good. Sorry about that. I had to just make sure that was working. What was I talking about? Yeah, Land of Mortha and Zeboim era is just insane. It's insane. Are you built like the 1000 Earth Mover? I don't know. Am I? Do I look like I'm built like that? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think that's my spiel on 2. Ooh, I'm not ready. But 3, and my friend said this too, 3 is just Gears 2. Let's be honest. They had the short lifespan. That, you just brought that to mind. Like in the Zeboim era, they had the short freaking lifespan. There's a lot of things. Noah and Faye, Id, and Graf. Faye is the blueprint for Noah. You cannot tell me otherwise. Because in the same way that, like, with the reincarnation of these characters over and over again in 3, that the way Noah at some point denounces everything because of the trauma he experiences to become N, is, you can't tell me that's not similar to Faye or Lacan denouncing everything to and becoming Graf in search for power. You know, you come on, there's no way. Matthew even more. Ooh, I didn't go into the DLC, but yes, 1,000% yes. Oh, well, yeah, 1,000% yes. He looks like Faye. He's fighting style, mechanics wise, it's Faye. There's that whole thing. The way these characters progress through the game, in that they're at odds with each other. One, the protagonist, comes to more of a realization of how to grow and tries to express that to their alter. Noah trying to express that to N, and then eventually fusing with him. Faye expressing that to Graf, eventually fusing with him. Oof. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Mio and Ellie, like, again, like them sort of Noah and Mio, Faye and Ellie sort of always sort of encountering each other with each reincarnation. I guess specifically with the one reincarnation where, you know, they they have a child together. They have Matthew, or no, not Matthew. They have granddad, and then granddad has Matthew. But they have a child, and you know, just that whole thing. There, it's it's connected. It's connected. You see the influence. It's right there. Noah, Mio interlinking, and it's the Veltal. It's not exactly the Veltal, but like the design of Noah's interlink is very close to Veltal, if not like at least the face is the same. And a lot of people, when Chronicles 3 was first coming out, they were like, "We have Gears again?" I'm like, "What do you mean Gears?" And I was like, should I play Gears before I play Chronicles 3? But there was not enough time for me to play all through Gears. But yeah, like that. And ooh, I might be kind of cooking here, but the concept in Xenogears, right, with the anima and the animus relics, you know how such a sucker for the I love you in every timeline in every universe type of pairing. Yes, so am I. You have no idea. I see that and I'm like, I pass away. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the anima and animus relic sort of pairing, the way that's a male and a female counterpart, like they describe it as that, forming an omni gear, and the way that these characters in 3 interlink male and female to form what'd you call it, an Ouroboros thing, like they're fused. Come on, is that not right in your face at that point? That's Gears. That's Gears DNA. When they going to the next one, when they said this, when they mentioned Ouroboros or Ouroboros in Gears, my brain, I was like, what is this? Why am I seeing this here? All the way back in Gears, they were talking about Ouroboros. But I think this is one thing in which it's like the opposite, where it means one thing in Gears and it means the very opposite in Chronicles. Because like with Ouroboros, I remember, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it referenced both the signature in Ellie's DNA. Krellian was looking at Ellie's DNA and he was like the Ouroboros ring. So you are a reincarnation. Like, this is you again. This is Ellie again. Like, you know what I mean? Ouroboros and anima are the same. Yes. You see it. So with Ouroboros, it's like a sign that you are reincarnated, like you've come back, in my opinion. And also, it's like the main antagonist, like the final boss of Gears, and fighting that final boss, they're free from Krellian. They're free from whatever opposition there is that would sort of like reset them. You know what I mean? Like they're free from the cycle, right? Well, now that I think about it, becoming Ouroboros in Chronicles 3 means you are free from your flame clock, you're free from the cycle of rebirth. So never mind. Like, that's more alike than I thought. I don't know what I might have just been getting mixed up, but there's another one. Sorry if this sidetracks discussion, but are all 3 Blade games in the same universe? I only ever played the first, and what does Chronicle X fit in? Okay. It's I think I tried to say this in the least spoiler way possible. You can see them in the same universe. Yeah. 1, 2, and 3 in the same in the same universe, in that 1 can affect another. And then 3 is unique, and I won't say why, just out of fear for spoilers. And then X, I don't think it fits with the canon of all 3 of them. I feel like there's so much speculation about it that I don't know for sure. I thought it did, but then I was immediately corrected. So I don't know where X fits in. X was actually the first Chronicles game that I played. It's a fun fact, I guess. But X is kind of like its own thing, I'd say. But yeah, no worries. If you have, I don't care for question. Like, I don't care if you ask a question, I'll answer it. It doesn't, no matter. I love talking about this. It's getting it out of my system so that I can start Saga with like a fresh mind. You know what I mean? Oh, don't get me started on how Krelian's final form, the form that we see Krelian in at the very end, the floating face, looks like the final form of Chronicles 3's final boss. Like, I saw it and I was like, so I'm gonna have to fight him. But it's no, you fight Ouroboros. And I'm like, wow, bro. And you know what it is? Krelian expressing how he doesn't want to dwell in his humanity anymore. Zed doesn't want to return. He's like the amalgamation of the fear of uncertainty of the future. He doesn't want to he doesn't want to dwell in that humanity of like, oh, you know, the future's not certain. What if things go horribly wrong? We need to retry. Like, that's the emotion that Zed represents. Like, I don't know what the future holds, so I'm afraid of it. It's insane. It's insane. Cycle of rebirth, reincarnation, that's kind of on the nose. Everybody sees it. Like, the cycles in 3, the rebirth of Ellie and Faye in Gears. This one kind of just was like, whoa, that makes sense. The flame clock in Chronicles 3 feels closely related to the limiters in all of humanity in Gears. Because I guess in one case, in Gears, they don't even know that they have them. But in 3, they're aware of it, but they just know that that's our limit, right? Like, that's the cap. We cannot surpass that until Ouroboros comes around and breaks that, you know? Until Faye and gang break that limiter, you know? And then just in terms of the theme, I think I kind of, again, talked about it like, oh no. Well, yeah. I think, you know, this, I'm seeing it more. I think that the perpetual comfort, so you can't, I feel like in 3, it's all about accepting the fact that nobody knows the future, and it's up to us to take it day by day, step by step, together to make a better future. Because if you just get to retry, then what's the point of taking risks? Like, there's no such thing as a risk. There's no such thing as anything that actually matters. Life doesn't matter. You don't have a weight to your life if everything you do doesn't matter because you get to just retry. I think that perpetual comfort that gets destroyed in 3 gets destroyed in Gears in the form of Faye reconciling the coward and id, because the coward is in perpetual comfort of he doesn't want to come to terms with the fact that he killed his mother. He's content with the one memory he has playing over and over for years and years and years, he's afraid of everything else, of coming to terms with anything else. And I think breaking free from that keeps him that allowed him to grow and obtain all the memories of previous reincarnations. He's just a better person. He's a more holistic person having broken free from that. Yeah. I feel like I have like maybe one thing left, maybe one or two things left. But yeah, that's Chronicles 3. And then the next thing, yes. Oh, now I know not everyone was here to see I love the series, and it's JRPG that deserves the remake treatment. It does. I feel like you typed that earlier and I didn't read that. Oh, that's 6. Okay. It deserves the remake treatment so much. So much. But yeah, when I beat the game Saturday, the singer singing the end credits song in Gears like triggered a memory in me. I was like, I know this voice. I've heard this flute more than 7. That's divisive. I agree. A lot of people will disagree. I feel like, I don't know. You know what? No, I think I'll double down on that because of the fact that disc 2 and the development process, it deserved to be it's as full as it could be. It deserved a more extensive development process. Trust mod over devs these days. Ooh, that, I hear you there. I hear you there. There's some remakes that are not given the love that they deserve nowadays. But yeah, like the singer, I was like, I know who that is. The flute, I thought okay. What was it called? Over US devs? Yeah. I'm gonna play this credits theme right now. Upon playing this game, getting to the end credits, I'm gonna just say this real quick. Getting to the end credits of this game, and then, feeling like, wow, this is the end of Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, it makes sense as an ending for Xenoblade Chronicles, because you'll see there's scenes from all 3 games playing in the background, and it seems as though the lyrics kind of apply to each of the games, and it just kind of rounds off at the end of Future Redeemed, like with a nice bow on top. It just feels like that's the end of Chronicles, the Klaus saga. But after playing Gears and listening to the song again, I feel differently, and I'm gonna play it. Let me see. Here's an HD search pack for Xenogears. That's one mod that orchestrates the soundtrack and translation. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that if I do another playthrough. Yes, Broken Mirror is the song, and let me know if the audio's okay. This is the same singer. That's been closed for so long. With your foreseeing eyes, what do you see? Some of the lyrics are very on the nose for the characters on the screen at the moment, like your foreseeing eyes for Shulk. Afraid to see what could be on the other side. You got the Mecon, you got Dixon, Zanza. It seems we just need to let it all go free. So it goes through Chronicles 1. It's the same look Shulk has. I've seen that look before. Now we're going through 2. You're gonna make me cry? I'm holding back right now. Quiet voice inside. Everything's so on the nose with their respective games. The quiet voice inside Mithra, inside of Pyra. Oh, you see, there's Jin. You have Numa. Rex, bro. Rex. You don't know unless you try to make things better. You got Klaus. The flute kicks in when it plays Xenoblade Chronicles 3. But the flutes don't sound like that in Chronicles 3. Although there are flutes and off-sea, like the characters that are off-seers in 3, it's not the same flute. If you know the song that plays at the end of Xenogears, that's that flute. I feel like Takahashi is most definitely like he's ending all of Xenoverse with this. Like it all comes to a culmination here. Please look forward to it. I will. Oh, I can't watch that ending ever. It makes me cry. This gave me chills because you don't see them in Future Redeemed, but Numa is there, bro. He's always been right beside us through the whole game. Oh! Oh! Takahashi has no business cooking like this. He has no business cooking like this. That's the... I'm gonna play it after this because I don't understand. I have to play it after this because you it's so there. It's so right there. Hold on. I see you by the door. This makes me like ball seeing them come together again. Oh my goodness. It because it's like this is what they were doing. Like this is like the end. They accomplished what it was that they set out to do. It took generations. It took different universes coming together, but like it just, it's too much. And apparently this is related to Xenosaga, and I am locked in for that. Wait, let me see. Have you seen the spoiler-free podcast about Xenosaga Episode 1 where they go through developing the game and so on? I did not see that. I feel like that would be something I look into after, at least after 1. I don't know. I'm so anti-spoiler that like I get so paranoid with anything. It is indeed related. Oh gosh. Bro. But yeah, like there's no doubt about it. Let me see if I can find the cutscene that plays at the end of the song. Ending movie version. Where is it? I just want the end credits. You know, it probably doesn't matter that I have a visual with it. Yeah, this one is good. Okay. So you hear the flute, right? You hear the flute. You hear the lyrics. You hear what's being spoken about. She sounds the same. Her voice. Oops, that's loud. Her voice is so... you can pick it out very, very easily. I'll just full screen this. But like, this is the flute that they were using in Future Redeemed. Without a doubt. They have the same singer, similar like instrument accompaniment. I don't know, man. I think as a big, like, how do I describe it? I feel like the way he wraps everything up is like this. Gears maintains its influence throughout all of Chronicles, all the way to the very end of the DLC. It's the last aspect we hear within this series, and it's like, it's insane. It's actually insane how much he cooked. But yeah, that's all I have to say, to be honest. There's an archive thing where you play with them from week to week, but the first episode is always about the creator and development. It's really good. Yeah, link it here. I'll save it and then I'll check it out for sure. Yeah. I haven't even like really broken down the lyrics of each of the songs too, but I mean, there's no doubting that he had a vision from Gears, and while Gears had a rough development cycle, I think he was able to get the game that he wanted out to us in the very end. You know, it's beautiful. That's art. I feel like that's art. That's a game that I can say is art. You know? But yeah. That's my spiel. I feel okay. I feel like I've gotten it off my chest. I feel better. I don't know, I've been talking your guys' ear off, but like, it just, I needed to. So, look forward to Xenosaga Saturday. Xenosaga Saturdays. Ooh. Exactly. It took a while for the two worlds to be reunited, but it wasn't something that was ever given up on. The development story, he's never given up on telling this story to us. It just took a while. Have you watched an intro? I'll do that after this, actually. I'm down to do that right after this. Not enough people talking about Xenogears. I think after 3 and after the DLC of 3, it got a resurgence of hype. But I want more people talking about this. And I feel like I know there's a whole web of rights and whatnot that is really messy, but like, could they just shake hands and be like, let's just make this game for the fans, you know? That I knew a lot about history of games and all. There's so much I didn't know. Yeah. You know, the way that they treated Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition, I want that, if not better, for Gears. You know what I mean? Because that's a jump. That's a massive jump. Visually, if anything else, at least visually, that's the biggest jump. Xenogears needs the remake treatment. This is just like the cries of the people. We all say the same thing. They need to hear that. They know that. They acknowledge it, right? Wasn't there like someone said there's the 20th anniversary concert? I'm pretty sure. Oh, that part of the song. I'm sorry. That part of the song kills me. It's been acknowledged, right? The shareholder meeting where someone asked if there's a Xenoblade remake that was in the works. Someone asked? Okay, at least it's being asked. Before I even forget, I'm pretty sure from one of the video essays that I watched, this is one of the first, if not the first, JRPG to have like a music with lyrics in the end like that. And what better first song to have like that than one that has the classic Xenoblade Chronicles electronic guitar and beautiful vocals accompanying together. Like they just work. They work together. Like when I hear music from Chronicles and I hear this song, it's like, oh, I get it. I get it. Anytime it's one of those, like, you know, the moments I'm talking about in the story when the lyrics come in, someone dies, someone leaves, someone does some sacrifice. Yeah. Oh, Symphony of the Night was earlier. Oh, I see. But yeah, like, I think the first Xenoblade game to have a song like this at the end, it's beautiful. It's actually beautiful. Hold on. I'm going to find the opening scene. Because I have not rewatched it. Ooh. Okay. Let's watch this intro one more time for the last time. You need to watch the podcast you link. Did you link it in the chat? I don't see it in the intro. Makes so much more sense after completing the game. Very, 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 very true. Very true. If you link it, maybe link it if you, I'm also on, I think it might be YouTube shutting that link off. If you can send it on Twitch or like whatever the name of the podcast is instead of the exact link, I can look it up like that. But I think YouTube is like, there's a link in the chat, delete it. You know what I mean? I don't see it, unfortunately. Yeah, let me play this because with the knowledge that we have after playing this game, hey, oh, it has to do the whole like intro. Where is this? Huh. I remember seeing that text in the beginning too. I'm the Alpha, the Omega. I'm like, okay, we're already starting crazy. We're already starting. Just like that, huh? Is this Deus? Or is that like the wave existence? I think that's like the wave existence, huh? I now know that this is the Tower of Babel just on its side. I looked back at VODs and I was like, yep, I remember climbing this vertically. I think it's wave existence. Yeah. Huh. The wave existence. I'm the beginning and the end. Yeah. You know, that quote. Alvis Ontos Monado from Chronicles 1 refers to himself as there in the beginning, and he will be there to proclaim the end. Like, bro. And he's there. He's there to proclaim the end. He's at the DLC of Chronicles 3 as, oh, sorry, I'm spoiling so much. But like, come on. You see the title. He's there as the final boss. Oh my goodness. Resonant Art. Okay, got you. I'm saving that. Yes. Resonant Arc. Let me see.
This is an emergency. Level 1 alert. Omega 1 restarting. Alpha 1 genome restructuring. Confirming exon replacement. Base code 85.
There he is. Freaking Deus, Nucleus. You're going to recommend it as well. I'm getting recommended that podcast, both on YouTube and TikTok. They talk about Xenogears in depth. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I'm saving it. I'm going to check it out.
5 million.
You betcha.
100 million. Its speed is overwhelming. Alpha 1 to...
I thought my naive initial reaction to this was that there was an alien life form trying to bring the ship down, and we just crash landed, similar to like X, where you kind of are on an arc leaving Earth and you crash land. Boy, was I wrong.
Access confirmed. Initializing fake net. Disconnected. Activating emergency.
No. Because she said something.
100 million. Its speed is overwhelming. Central?
Raziel Central. That's the wasn't it Raziel tree? That's the supercomputer with all the information about humanity and everything on it.
Access confirmed.
Didn't catch that.
Fake net. Disconnected. Activating emergency shelter.
I wonder if this is that dungeon. Probably not. I don't know. It's probably not. But this reminded me of that one dungeon where you have to like turn the things and turn the paths, like the hexagons.
Contamination is spreading widely. Captain.
Cut off the cables manually.
Roger. Activating self-destruct bolts.
I wonder how this is even possible.
No good. Nothing happened.
Is this just because it's using the Zohar and it can just, I don't know, can transfer energy
Omega-1, they are attacking.
regardless of distance?
We can't stop them. 98%
There it is right there. I didn't even see. There's Raziel's tree.
of our weapons
Insane.
have taken over. The autopilot system Faust has been
The Zohar is essentially an infinite energy. Yep.
and its base space logic is being rewritten. Ergo area is increasing. An internal plane is forming.
Is this the path to Sephiroth? I don't know. I'm picking things. I'm like, I mean, it could be this, it could be, I don't know. Xenogears analysis playthrough podcast they did is 21 episodes long, so Resident Arc goes deep. Oh, the ship looks like a big cross. Stop. The ship looks like a big cross. Of course it does. Of course it. I need to look up the perfect works. References to Gnosticism and Judaism. Yeah. Yeah. I was learning that in my big dive into just video essays and stuff on this game. Oh, Deus is attempting to fold space. Oh, wow. Abel makes contact and that wakes up Deus. Oh, Abel makes contact and that wakes up Deus. Oh. Biggest solid state drives in the galaxy is crazy. The massive SSDs they have on this thing. Might look up Star of Tears. The song has overworked theme and lyrics that was in the game for some reason. It's good. Oh, okay. I'll check that out. Looks like a crucifix. Oh.
Switching to space displacement mode. Alpha 1.
Go to Earth or Lost Jerusalem as it's called in Perfect Works. Oh.
Confirming transfer of coordinate codes.
He does say
Coordinate NX128 EZ061. The main planet.
the main planet,
There.
right?
So they're planning on attacking.
Mm-hmm.
Engine room. Activate
Yeah.
the emergency sealing system. Engine room.
R.I.P. Engine Room. We never even knew what happened to him. That's some emotion. He's like, we lost. And he's taunting him.
See that all civilians and passengers are safely transported to the
Sheesh.
escape shuttles. I will send a dispatch after evacuation is complete. I am evacuating the ship. All of you, evacuate now.
And it's just over.
Evacuate the
I
ship.
do want to know,
All passengers.
did they explain why there are so many passengers on the ship? Because isn't it this ship tasked with the purpose of just taking Deus away? Did they ever explain why there are so many passengers on the ship? Yeah, this in particular, I was like, there's an alien attacking us or something. Like there's this whole backstory of how the Zohar was discovered and not built by ancient humanity. Oh. Interesting. Colony ship survives from the planet Deus trashed. Okay, makes sense. So not so much that they're trying to just take them to go somewhere. They're just like, oh, okay. They're refugees. They have no planet. Damn. I kind of see it. I see it. Wow. Yeah, Deus. Huh. And here we are, the start of humanity on this planet. Yup, Fort Jasper. I didn't realize it either. I didn't realize it either until I looked it up, or I looked up just more videos, and they were like, "Yeah, this is actually Fort Jasper." And I was like, "Oh, you're so right." And the beginning of it all. Miang 1.0. Yep. Wow. Broken mirror. Wow. So good. Too good for its own good. Honestly. Yeah. That's what I have. That's really what I got on the matter. And I feel like I don't know where to go from here besides thank you for putting up with my yapping. Imagine knowing everything that happens and watching someone who knows nothing about what's going on. That's what I like. I want to watch more people play this for the first time. I get the fun of it because it's crazy. Yeah, this was that. Took 10,000 years, but she got the job done. She did, and we stopped her. Well, we did break Deus, so she still did it, but we just broke it. Wow. Yeah. Tell me that's how I found me in the first place. I see. Yeah. That's how it is. Oh, yeah. I already played this. Well, yeah. Oops. That was a source. Yeah. I just have this because someone was like, cite your sources in our Discord. I was like, yeah, I'll cite my sources. So I have a lot of stuff from that I had to just fact check and look up. But yeah, oh my gosh, it's so bright. That was that. When you play the texture pack, it's stunning. Lots of details in the graphics. I want to play it to the highest fidelity that I can configure. I might have some technical difficulties, but for the most part, I should be okay. But yeah, I feel good having spent all that time talking to you guys. Hopefully that was fun. And that's my TED Talk. Xenosaga playthrough is gonna blow me away. Woo! I'm ready for it. Considering that you know everything now, could you see Miang described as an eldritch horror? Yeah, not even. It's always good to hear fresh take. Yeah, I want to hear more fresh takes as well. I think I would describe her in a way an eldritch horror, but like not so much horror, but just like she's a program. She's programmed to do this no matter what. There's nothing that's gonna stop her from that. I don't know if it's eldritch horror, but yeah, they're easy guys to set it up. Thanks for the talk. Yes, I'll see if I can look up some guides, get everything set up for Saturday. Look forward to it. It's gonna be just like this, same places, same time. Just looking forward to this. Me too. That was fun. I'm excited to hear your reaction. Here's Xenosaga. Sheesh. I'm excited as well. I'm so excited. But yeah, that's it for today. Do you have a Discord server? I do have a Discord server. I can that's right. It's not really linked anywhere on TikTok because I don't have a place that I can put the link. I'll make a copy button. Okay, yeah. I'll put this here because that's the server we have. It's mainly like super chill. We kind of just have a lot of updates in terms of, oh, there's so much art you posted. I have to look through all of this. Oh, Crow, what's his name? Ramses and the squad. That's so good. But yeah, we kind of just share things here and there, and also like I get to. It's easier for me to update when I'm streaming it on TikTok or on the Discord. So that's just there in case you feel inclined to join. But thank you. That's it for tonight. Tomorrow we will be back with, it's Wednesday, so Overwatch. Overwatch Wednesday, Metal Gears Thursday, Valo Friday, Xenosaga Saturday. Same times. But thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.